All right, let's take a quick look at the EasyRec um, bank definition of bank template. Excuse me. So to define a new bank template, all we do is we give it a template name. So I'm going to call this one US Bank, and a starting line. This is the line on which the transactions actually begin in the template file. Now, real quick, I'm just going to open up my Excel file. And pardon the window movement. But this is my download.csv. So this is what I downloaded directly from US Bank. And I've made no modifications to this file. And we can see that it has date, transaction, basically one line of title with a starting position of row number 2. So we go back to our starting line and we say row number 2. Now the next step is to map out the columns. Again, we're going to want to pull open our Excel file, but basically we can look at column 1. The mapping in SAP is the due date, and the column format is date. So there's not a date time in the column, there's a date. And that lets the mapping translate the date into a date in SAP. Everything is happy. Now in column B, we have, for example, our ref field. There's nothing we need to do here, although if we wanted to, we could, for example, do trims on the text. So if I do like trim right 6, it's going to give me the right 6 characters of that field, allowing me, if I had something like my business partner code or a nice transactional number that I could use for further evaluation in the system, I could define that and have it displayed here. In this case, unfortunately, my bank file is very simple, so I don't have any of those more complex issues. So we're going to do a memo, and then I actually have a memo to field in column B. And then what we have in column E, we actually have the debits and credits in the same column. So my bank does not break them out. So what we need to do is say, okay, this is going to be my debit amount. The format is debit credit, and the format value, I actually want my debits to be my negative, because in banking, the debit is the negative value. It's counterintuitive, I know, but as long as we set it up appropriately, we don't have to think about it again. And credit amount, also column E, debit credit. There is no format value, so in the case of the negative, it's not going, let me restate that. The negative basically says that anything that has a negative value in this column is going to be a debit. Anything that has a positive value will be a credit. And that allows me to translate so that my bank statement is going to match my chart of accounts, and I will be able to pull that file in. So I hit add. Now I can cycle back to it just like I would any other document in the system. We'll see here my original test document and now my US Bank template. And with this template, I can now go to the next step and actually import my bank file. So this is how we define a template, and best of luck.